watching The High Road with me, Keith Warren, brought to you by Timber Creek Outdoors.
Be belly quiet. We're bell hunting. Folks, all kidding aside, this is the best black bear hunting in the world. And you're gonna love today's show because we're gonna get up close and personal with lots of black bears.
We're black bear hunting at Camp Grayling.
Camp Grayling is a fly-in fishing camp in northern Saskatchewan. We're about 50 miles south of the Northwest Territories or 550 miles north of Saskatoon. We're located on Black Lake. It's a lake around 52 miles long, 22 miles wide. We're the only fishing camp on the lake, very remote.
I had come here the previous year on a fishing trip. One afternoon while I was fishing, I spotted this big black bear in the woods on the shoreline, and I was told that this was the last day of the bear hunting season.
I may need to get a bear tag.
I quickly purchased a bear tag, while a couple of Ken's guides set me up a double tree stand for me and my cameraman overlooking a baited area. Then I borrowed a crossbow from one of the guys at the camp, and we headed to the stand, which was located next to a running brook.
Boy, it's a good looking spot here. We got a lot of water running around us to camouflage our sound.
For the bow hunters, we set up our stands to the baits in that 10 to 15 yard range, so it's a very close shot. The bears are not afraid of humans at all, so they come in. You've got an absolute perfect chance at a calm bear coming into the bait to get the perfect shot.
Son of a gun came from nowhere.
Black bear hunting over bait is very ethical for two reasons. One, you can see the bear come in, you'll judge the size, you can see what sex he is if he's a good boar. And yes, we want to take the boars, we want to leave the sows to reproduce, and he'll give you that perfect broadside shot to put him middle of the middle.
This was a small bear, and I thought it was a young sow. But I continued watching her as she dug around in the bait pile and finally wound up leaving with her prize. But just a few minutes later, this bear showed up, and my best guess was that he was a boar, but he was too young to shoot. With time running out on the season, I realized that I wasn't going to get a black bear today, but I decided right then and there that I was coming back next year, and I was bringing my compound bow. I showed my son Colton the footage that we shot, and I promised him that if he made the honor roll for all 4 quarters of the upcoming school year, he'd get to come with me on his first black bear hunt. Colton did just that. And now we're heading north, way north, to Camp Grayling.
The normal way for most of our U.S. customers to get up here is you fly to Minneapolis to Saskatoon, from Saskatoon up to Stony Rapids. There's no accessibility by road. Camp Grayling is located as a fly-in camp. Our closest major town, which is 1,200 people, is 330 miles away. We have a little community here of about 150 people that services the north. We have a hospital here. If something happens, we have doctors that can look after whatever your needs might be.
This is one of the smallest airports we've ever been in, ever. This is the smallest airport Colton's ever been in. It's a really small airport. The reason why Colton is using a crossbow and not a compound, he's not strong enough yet to use a legal pound-pull bow. So a crossbow is the only way that he can still bow hunt, which he wants to bow hunt, until he's old enough and strong enough to actually pull back a legal weight bow. Oh, it blew all the way fooey.
We have a 3D target set up at the camp so that you can practice your bow to make sure it's lined up. You can either practice off the ground or off an elevated stand.
Ooh, perfect. Okay, now we know the bows are on. Let's retrieve the arrows and go get our fishing gear. What do you say?
I got one.
Colton, that's a big one there. Hold on your rod, bud. That's a big one. That's a big one. Yes, sir, that's a big one.
He's a big one.
Attaboy, come on, bring it over here. Here, why don't you hold him? Hold him right there behind the gill.
Man, these things are slimy.
Yep, that's why I wanted you to hold him. Oh, Colton, look at that fish.
That's a big one. That's the biggest one we've caught all day.
Look at that fish.
That's a huge.
Look at that, Colton. That's a nice northern right there.
There you go, big boy.
Well, guys, how was the fishing today?
I caught the biggest and the most.
You caught the biggest and the most. Well, I guess we know who's going to be sitting in the bear stand first tomorrow.
Oh, well, he earned it.
Yeah, that's good. Congratulations. Wish you luck tomorrow on the big bear.
Look at this. This is what they call scat, okay, droppings of a bear. You'll notice the berries in it. Okay, there's some grass. What happens, these bears, when they come out of hibernation, there's not a whole lot up here for them to eat. So they eat a lot of grass and bugs and what few berries that they can find. And you can tell the size of a bear by the diameter of the scat. So anyway, that's
It's
right
probably
there.
a pretty big bear.
That's a pretty big bear. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna wait. And
Dad, right there. Oh my God.
there's a bear right here. There's a bear right
Oh
here.
my God.
He's coming in. Okay, just hold still, son. Just hold still. I can't believe that. Look at him. I told you, you come up here, they'll put you on the bears. This right here, this is pretty awesome.
What are you using for bait?
Well, we use a little bit of popcorn. One up here, it's easy to get in because you can haul it in on a plane and pop it in. It makes it more economical, and they really like it. We put a little bit of sugar and cinnamon and stuff on there. You tried some this morning. Good stuff, eh? And then we'll give him some grease. And he'll get some of that on his feet. He's gonna go make a trail in the bush. And some other bear hopefully will follow his tracks and come on in.
The way we hunt black bears is off of elevated tree stands, over bait. We use very little bait to draw them in, but if you want to get close and personal, we will build you a ground blind and put you right nose to nose.
Wade quickly determined that the first two bears that we saw were a young boar and a sow. So he decided to sit back and enjoy watching these bears just being bears.
Stay tuned. Hunting and Outdoor Adventures. We'll be right back.
Colton and I had been watching these two young bears putting on a show for more than an hour when suddenly these two larger, more aggressive bears showed up and ran the first two away.
We are covered up with bears, big time.
They can move that fast, those big fat things.
What do you think? Is this worth studying for all year?
Yeah. Big fat bear. It's perfect.
Let's put some nice scars. It's not from his face. See that one right between his eyes? On
Yeah.
his forehead.
Daddy, he has a scar right here in the middle of his forehead. Go ahead.
Yes or no? Yep. That's a good shot. There's blood all over the arrow. Give Wade your crossbow. What do you think, Colt?
That's the best hunt I've ever been on.
This is absolutely what a beautiful animal. And you know, you did earn the hunt. Tell Wade what you had to do to earn it.
Well, I had saw the show on this place, and my daddy said, well, if you make honors all 4 quarters, I'll take you there. And I did, so here we are.
Well, good for you.
But the thing about it is, I also told him that he wasn't going to hunt with a gun. Okay, he's still not old enough to draw back a bow, and I want him to be a bow hunter. But he can't draw back a legal bow, so he's shooting the crossbow. Last year when I was up here, they had a crossbow, and it was the very end of the bear season. I got to sit out just a little bit and had 2 nice bears come in, nothing like this. This is a bigger bear than I've ever shot, son. This is a really, really nice bear. But the crossbow is a great device that a lot of people may think there's maybe skeptical that it doesn't kill real quickly. How far did this bear go?
I would think we're probably maybe upwards of 50 yards, maybe max.
Maybe 50 yards. Folks, if y'all want more information on coming up here to Camp Grayling and not just enjoying the best bear hunting I've ever seen in the world, but also enjoying some fabulous pike fishing, grayling fishing, all you need to do is give them a phone call. Phone number will be coming up in a little bit. Get a pencil and paper, write it down. And if you don't have time to get that phone number, what do they need to do?
Log on to keithwarren.net.
There you go. Log on to the website and we'll hook you up with them.
Once your bear is down on the ground, the guides will come in, take your bear out, do the skinning, prepare to hide. We salt them down so that the guy can take them back home with no problems. We also have a taxidermist that works up at the camp to do whatever you want with your trophy.
Check this scat right here. See it? It's purple. And it's big around too. Looks like Barney's been in here. Barney. All right.
I was on my way back to the same ground blind where Colton had taken his bear when I came upon this young sow already at the bait.
This is a female. I'm gonna set up and try to use her for bait.
Folks, I've been on lots of bear hunts before, but I've never been to a place like Camp Grayling. This place is covered up with bears, lots of bears. This is the best black bear hunting I've ever seen.
That answers the proverbial question. They do. Well, I'll be doggone. We wound up locating a microphone right above the bait so we could actually get the audio of a bear eating and breathing and rolling rocks and rolling logs, and we could let you know what it's really, really like to be out in the woods. The cool thing that happened on this trip, we're sitting there watching this bear and he's rolling around rocks and eating and everything, and all of a sudden he looks up and he sees the microphone in the tree. Once he does, he kind of keyed in on it like, what's that? He reaches up and bites it, and we got all the audio on that. You know, I always say hunting is what you make of it. It's not about the kill, it's about the hunt. On this particular hunt, I don't know how many bears I saw. 10, 12, 15, I don't know. I saw a lot of bears. I chose not to shoot. I could have shot. I'm sure several of them were booked bears, but I chose not to shoot. And like I said, it's not about the kill, it's about the hunt. And I couldn't have thought of anything else better that I wanted to do this week than to spend my time up here with my son fishing, but also in the afternoon bear hunting. And even though I didn't kill a bear, that's okay. I didn't see the bear that I wanted to take home, but I'll be back next year.
For more information, call 866-455-4488 or visit campgrayling.com. CA. We'd also like to thank the folks at the Saskatoon Inn and Norcan Air.